Greetings, everybody. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. I am guest hosting today for Dave. It is 8:02 a.m. where I'm from, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we're live, baby. We're going live. And let me make sure I got my text message this morning. I did. I got a text message this morning, and there it is. There's my real phone screen, and you can see when you get the text message when we go live. There we go. You can see it says Leah tried Shopify, didn't go well, but then she found a little known way to promote other people's products. And then there's this little link you can just tap right on it. Check that out. You just tap it, goes straight over to, I think, hang on, to Facebook. And then you just tap this little link and holy smokes, we're live. Okay. So anyway, happy Tuesday. Good to see you all. If you would like to get those text messages, you can text the letters WUL to 813-296-8553. I just put it up on the screen, and it's also in the chat. You just text those letters to 813-296-8553. Okay. For everybody who's here, let's bring on the guest for the day. Leah, what's happening?
Good morning.
Where are you calling in from this morning?
I am in the Bay Area in California.
Cool. Right on. Very cool.
7 a.m.
Yeah, yikes. Phoenix is half the year we're in the Pacific time, half the year we're in Mountain time. So right now it's Mountain time. It's a little easier, but yeah, half the year I'm waking up for these damn things at 7 a.m. and I'm like, geez, it is early. Cool. Yeah, I visited the Bay Area back. We were thinking about moving out to Oakland in 2016, I think. We wanted to move to San Francisco, but it was like, wow, this is so expensive. And then we found out Oakland's also expensive.
It
is. So we were like, you know what? We're going to just opt for Phoenix and not pay $1 gajillion in rent.
Yeah.
So anyway, cool. Well, thanks for coming on the show today. I'm excited to just talk about like your journey and story, and you've got so much going on, and you've got a big kind of why about why you're getting going with online marketing and digital marketing and stuff. So this is cool, and I'm excited for our chat. As I was kind of like looking through your, your whole journey of like starting with Legendary and figuring out how to get going and just bring our audience into your world a little bit. So go all the way. I mean, you can go back as far as you want. You can tell your whole life story if you want. Sometimes that sounds crazy, but you know, a lot of times people have like little moments, entrepreneurial moments throughout their life that kind of lead them to this place. But tell people a little bit about your story and your journey, and maybe your husband. And I think that's powerful. And tell us how you found Legendary.
Sure. So, I've been trying to do online for the longest time, regardless. Like I've tried Shopify, drop shipping, even Amazon, FBA,
Cool.
But never really got totally dedicated to it because I've always worked a 9-to-5. And a few years ago, my husband was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And so I knew that I needed to figure out a way to make this work. And I got lucky enough to stumble across Stacey Law.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, on YouTube, and just started following her and watching her videos on YouTube, which brought me into Legendary. And so my goal, because I have a husband who has Parkinson's, he and I want to travel and we want to enjoy life and spend great time together while he's able to do that. And so that's my why. And so Legendary was a blessing. It was a blessing.
Awesome. That's super cool. I love that. And then you found us. How long ago was that?
This year.
Okay.
Yeah, this year. And it's funny because Stacey talks about, one of her videos, she's like, the way that I'm getting free traffic is TikTok. And I'm like, what is this craziness TikTok? Like, these are for like kids, So, yeah. And so that's once I started doing TikTok, and I did create, this is my second account, so through trial and error, but the second account I have is going really strong. And and is
Cool.
getting my husband and I, once the world opens up again, we're gonna hit the road.
Nice. Awesome. Tell me, here's what I'm, so you're still doing a 9 to 5 because you've got like, you can work from home and everything,
I
right?
can, yeah.
Awesome.
So because we're in the Bay Area, we haven't been called back in.
Right.
So the minute we get called back in, pretty much when the world ends up, and that's when I'm giving notice.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. So, I mean, you're doing really well. Like you're making good money. You're doing super well. So congrats on that. That's awesome. This last month for you, you're crushing it. What's been like, what's been, as you started on TikTok, this is just hilarious to me because just there's so many freaking people on TikTok. It's crazy.
Mhm.
And, if I was to go back 10 years ago and be like, dude, like everybody and their dog is getting on TikTok and making $1,000 or more, like so
Mhm.
fast. I can't even, my brain is like, how is this possible? Um, but just the pure amount of like impressions and traffic coming from TikTok is crazy. Tell us about your first account. Tell us about what it was like to start creating content on TikTok. I'm so curious. Like, were you nervous? Was it overwhelming?
Yeah,
Was it like, how did that go? And then tell us about the transition to the second account. We have lots of people who go through multiple accounts.
right.
Tell us about like that whole situation.
So yeah, I mean, it was awkward. It was super, super awkward. And I just kind of had to force myself to do it,
Yeah.
and get over that mindset, that no, I'm not being spied on, or all those horrible things that you hear about TikTok. Like
Right.
even my son, I have an adult son. He's like, "No, mom, you don't want to be on TikTok."
Right.
Um,
Right. That's
so
so
to get
funny.
over all of that, nonsense, and just put that out of your head. So it was
Yeah.
weird. It was weird. And getting inspiration from other people. And the second account, I was lucky enough where when I started that account was about the same time that you guys launched that TikTok training,
Oh, cool.
the free training.
Yeah.
You really showed us how to find inspiration from other creators and not reinvent the wheel. And
Yeah.
so I started doing that, and that's when my account really blew up.
Oh, cool.
But I also did it like having fun, right? So because you
Yes.
still have to be yourself. And then
Yes.
I also now I enjoy it. Like I mix in stuff that makes me happy every day,
Good. Yes.
because if you don't, you're not going to enjoy it.
Totally. Totally. And that's a big key to that whole, like, that's a big one that, like, I probably could have went into more detail on, but I'm glad that you just applied that because it is a little bit of like a common sense, like, hey, you need to figure out ways to like enjoy this, have fun with it, like make it really your own. And like, I think that one thing that people struggle with that is this unspoken thing is like a little bit of a lack of belief in themselves of like, am I funny? Am I cute? Am I like, can I have fun with this? Like, can I be playful? And I think that like sometimes people go through, well, I shouldn't say people go through. I should just say like I for a long time lost a sense of playfulness in content and in like just stuff, marketing and stuff that I do because I've lived life. I lived a lot of life with this thing called internalized shame, which is just like I didn't believe I was enough. I didn't believe that I was good enough, that I was lovable. Like all of these things, I would never say them, but I felt them. And so what happened is in my marketing and in my like work, I had no sense of like creativity or that I could be funny or that I could be entertaining or that people would enjoy it. So
Mhm.
it's a funny thing where like I feel like people have lost a sense of play, and if they could just unpack that or uncover that or sort of strip away that like fear of whatever they're fearful of, they'd be able to really make it their own. They'd be able to make it fun and engaging and I don't know, exciting. What do you think?
Oh, I agree. I agree 100%. And even, and it's a mindset thing too, because at first, like when you get like your first haters too, that are just like,
Yeah,
you have to realize too that when you get your first haters, you're doing great. When people actually care enough to tell you that put you down, it means that you're on the right track, right? You've actually
yeah,
gained everybody's attention. And so
Mhm.
that helps too a lot. And I can just, and I can kind of laugh at it. I mean, it makes me sad in a way for them, but I can like laugh at it too and realize, okay, I'm doing all right. I've got haters. Now I've got people making fake accounts of make money with Leah. So I'm doing all
Yep.
right.
Yep. Yep. Totally. And I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why like some people feel the need to do that or something, or I don't know, but it is funny because once you start to get people's attention and they start noticing, some people are like, "Oh my gosh, did I do something wrong?" Because that's the gut response. But in the world of content, that's the total opposite. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you've got people, there's this one dude, I don't know what nationality this guy is, but he does this stupid dance. And he does it. He has like a fanny pack on the front, and he does this dance, and he like it's the only content that he does. He only does this, and he goes out in public and does this stupid dance. I guarantee if you've been on TikTok, you've seen this guy
Mm-hmm.
because he's on the For You page all the time. And his glasses hang really low on his face, and it just like it bothers people so much,
Mm-hmm.
and he just nonstop he all he does with his content now is he just replies with videos to those people's content telling him to stop and never do another video again on TikTok. And he just like he doesn't talk to him, he doesn't engage with them, he just does comment replies. And you know what's funny is that now people will like comment on his videos, and they'll just be like they'll intentionally reply with outrageous comments because they want to be the next one that he does. They
Right.
want to be like the next commenter that he does a video reply to. And so like they just want to see their own comment on his thing. But now he's like built this entire brand just on like being playful with the haters and
Right.
like just kind of throwing it in their face in this ironic way. I don't know. It's just such a it's just such a mindset shift to see that all as not just like scientifically this is engagement and great for the algorithm, but also in just a more overall like just playful way. Like, geez, is this really this serious? We're just on TikTok. It's just a freaking social media app, guys. Like, let's just have some fun with this. I'm gonna have fun with it, and we can all kind of laugh at it rather than it being this like super polarizing thing. I think that approach, Dave talked about this yesterday on the show. I think that approach gives people this feeling of like, I'm not desperate. I'm not like this salesperson who's trying to nonstop pitch you. It gives more of this like, I'm operating out of abundance and my cup's overflowing and I have fun with this. This is a new thing for me, but I'm having fun with it. And, I, like you said, I feel bad for you a little bit, but it's okay. Like we're just gonna have fun and play around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even at that, sometimes I'll respond a little bit and say, I'm not getting rich off of $7. I'm actually doing this to help people because I'm excited how it's working for me.
Totally.
So, yeah. I mean, if you think I'm getting rich off of the $7, then you got some other things going on.
Right. What's when you're out there? Wait, so when you're out creating content, do you have like what type of content creator are you? I always find that it's interesting that there's like there's some who are just super structured. They have set days where they do their thing. There's others who are just like, nope. I get on a whim to create like a little series of 5 videos. I'll just create them randomly and post them. Do you have like sort of a schedule that you've built out, or what's your vibe like?
No, my husband tells me all the time I'm like a cooked up squirrel. I like all over the place. So if I see something that makes me happy, I'll immediately like go do that.
Cool.
So I don't. I will batch out from time to time.
Sure.
And I try to post something every day right now because it's been the holidays. Actually, TikTok has this, the question thing right now. So I've just been reposting and I haven't been doing anything because I'm just enjoying myself, which is the great thing that you can do that. That's the best thing about this
Yeah.
business and this community is that
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. I I do what makes me happy when I'm feeling happy. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to force it because it's not going to be genuine.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. What's the coked out squirrel? That is hilarious. I feel like my wife would describe me like that sometimes, where I'm like, I function. It is I was telling somebody the other day. Oh, we were on like a team meeting in Legendary, and I was like telling people, I was like, I am like this close to ADHD. I'm not there. I don't think I went through some diagnostic questions, but I'm pretty damn close. And because like I'll have, I've got 18 tabs open on my computer at all times, and I can just boom, one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Like one
Mhm.
minute I'm refinancing my mortgage, the next minute I'm like running ads on TikTok, the next minute I'm writing an email, the next minute I'm like, and it's just like, I think if somebody sat down next to me who has like just intense structure, like that's how they function and operate, they would be like, oh my gosh, I need a cigarette. Like this is
Right.
like I have to get out of here right now. I feel like I'm watching something illegal. But for me, I'm just like I operate that way. My brain functions and fires that way. I'm sure I could learn a different style and structure, but yeah, it just something doesn't feel right or real or genuine. And when it does feel that way, then boom, I'm into like this flow state where I'm
Same.
like, here we go. Now it's time to roll. And I think that that's really powerful. I think it's just power. The reason I asked the question is because I think it's powerful because we have so many different types of people who come
Mhm.
on the show, and people need permission to be like, hey, guess what? You don't have to be this certain style of person. You don't have to be. See, back in the day when I visited Italy, um, like 4 years ago, I learned that back in the day, like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, a lot of these people who are artists, basically they didn't finish most of their work. Like Michelangelo, when you go look at the huge David statue in Florence, you walk in and lined up in rows leading up to that are all of his unfinished versions that he just like of tons of different sculptures that are completely unfinished and formless. And the way they described it is like, currently, like current day, these guys would all be prescribed ADHD and put on medication. And today, coked out squirrels. Today, or back in that day, it was just viewed as a creative. You were just a creative. You were just a person with a huge imagination that had no shame about starting something and not finishing it. You didn't get called a shiny object chaser. It was mostly just like, hey, I have a creative part of me, or who I am is very creative, and that's who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do have to like do make myself do the parts of the business that aren't fun to me, right? So I do have to schedule time to build my funnels and the other non TikTok, like make my pins and all of that.
Yeah.
Um, I do have to do that, but
Right.
the TikTok's just fun. So that's kind of where and actually it yields the most, let's face it. So
Yeah, I think there's an argument to be made about like reposting to reels and reposting to shorts and
mhm,
reposting to TikTok, or I mean, I'm sorry, Pinterest, just
mhm,
because there's enough evidence of those producing something and helping, and you're already doing the work anyway, so you
yeah.
might as well. But I do feel the vast majority of evidence that I've seen is still that like it seems as if TikTok's reach, just their sheer reach as a brand new beginner, seems to be the highest on TikTok
Mhm,
from just a purely organic standpoint. I think that that's true. What
yeah.
excuse me, I'm so curious, like what um, with have you done any sort of posting to other platforms with your existing content yet?
So not promoting Legendary, but I do post to I have other accounts. So I do
Yeah,
that. So and I'm doing pretty well with some of those, especially on Pinterest. Um,
cool.
on some of
That's
the other
awesome.
items that
Good.
I'm promoting. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Someday we're gonna have to do a training on Pinterest, because there are a good amount of people who are doing really well on Pinterest, I think, and have sort of figured out the ways to post and the ways to go about that. So that's cool. What
Yeah.
okay, so for there's a lot of new people who watch this. There's a lot of people who are kind of brand new, like, hey, I just found you guys yesterday. And they're starting to go through the challenge. They watch some of these shows and they're like, okay, interesting. Like, how do I get on TikTok and social media and start to begin like putting out content, and how do I get going with that? Do I need to wait to like get permission to start posting? Can you talk to those people just about like, what advice would you have for those people? What advice would you have as people are going through the challenge and then also starting to start create content and they've never done it before?
So even if you're going through the challenge, I think the best thing to do is just to start creating your TikTok account, right? Because you have to get to those 1,000 subscribers. The biggest mistake that I made initially was doing a business account so I could post my link. That's the first thing that'll get you banned because there's so much that you can't do. I learned that the hard way, so don't do that.
Okay.
But just start getting comfortable, because after you go through the challenge and you start realizing the tools that you have, you already have that base and that comfortability to just hit the ground running. And I think that's the best thing to do. Just overcome that TikTok hurdle. I think is the biggest hurdle, and that's just that's a you thing. That's a you thing that you have to get through.
Yep. Cool. I agree with that. I think that well, I personally have grown accounts. I tell people this. I've personally grown more than one account on a business account fast, with very few videos, but I always give a caveat. But I do think that you're right, that starting with a creator account or a personal account right away is the best way to go about it. And I also think the reason that I give that caveat to people is because I tell people, look, forget about the account style, forget about the hashtags, forget about all that stuff. What you'll find works by far the best is actually creating engaging content. Like, that sounds so simple. It sounds so stripped down and basic and whatever. But the truth is like, if you can create interesting edutainment, like you can educate somebody, but you can also do it in a way where they're like, I kind of like this person. This is interesting. And you have your kind of like personality spin. You let your personality come through the video. Man, you can blow up on TikTok fast. So yeah, I agree with that. And I also agree, because I get some people who ask me the kind of what you said was like, I get people who ask, hey, what do I do next? Like, am I allowed to just like start a thing? Like, you're allowed to do anything. You can do absolutely anything you want. Like, no one's holding you back. No one's telling you what to do. This isn't like a job, or this isn't like school. You start your account, you begin generating a little bit of followers. You post and you realize, wow, there's actually people who see my videos. This is crazy. That's another reason that I tell people to start on TikTok is like, you're going to have humans watch your videos. Like, real humans are going to watch your very first video immediately when you hit post. And yeah, it might not explode, but like, if you stick with it long enough, you're going to have a video eventually that'll break through, get 100,000 views or something like that, or 10,000 views, but maybe 100,000 views. And that one video alone can send you, 10,000, 20,000 followers, and your life can be changed overnight. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's exciting when that happens too.
It is. Oh, yeah. It's crazy, right? You wake up the next morning and you're like, oh my, 99 plus.
That 99 plus, it's like,
what just happened? Did I break something? Is this okay? All right.
Don't people ever sleep? Like, what's going on here?
Right. Because you've had a couple videos that have gone like well over 100,000, even into 200,000. And when those videos start going, that's when I tell people, when you get a video that starts taking off and you see it taking off, there's a couple things you should do. You should start posting a lot of videos to your page that are about you and that are like really curated to tell your story and your journey, right? Because they just discovered you. Now give them more. And then also go live, and man, turning followers into paying customers. There's nothing that does that like going live. That is where I've seen so many people go from like, hey, I've got 50,000 followers, I've got 100,000 followers, and they don't seem to be converting like they do for other people, or like I can't get those people to buy something from me. Go live for a couple hours, just talk about your journey, talk about like what you're working on, talk about what's worked and what hasn't, and give people like an actual story to connect to, and tell them what to do next. Like I've told people to, you know how when you go live, you can do a green screen behind you. Like I've told people, just go live and be like, learn how to, and then whatever you're selling, learn how to train your dog from home, learn how to make an income online, learn how to lose 10 pounds this month, right? And then just put like, tap the link in my bio. And that could just be sitting above your head as a headline, like a road sign, and like, then people as they're scrolling are like, oh, I know what this is about. Cool. Oh, Leah, I know Leah, or, oh, I know Robin. And it's, man, is it like, there is just so much power in people being able to make the jump from seeing you on video to seeing you in a live format, and they're like, oh, I'm actually live with this person. She's not just a weird scammer who's like, posting these random videos from her basement or something, like she's just like, she's a normal person. This takes the relationship from a cold to kind of warm to like like I could see this person maybe being a friend, or like, it's like a totally different vibe.
I haven't gone live yet. I've been watching people's lives. I have certain people that I consider mentors, like Barb McGowan, and her lives are great. Calvin Hill's lives are amazing. And so I've been watching them. But no, I mean, I'm not going to be Calvin, right?
Well, why would you say that?
Well, because I mean, I'm going to be Leah, right? I mean, he's
he's
so cool. Like, he's just so cool.
Yeah, but he's had years, like literally decades of being like a producer and being in rooms with people that are like, like he's just the limelight doesn't really scare him, just because of the sheer amount of time that he spent in front of people, I think. So I get that, yeah.
But he teaches. I mean, he really does teach. And so I've been watching that. So does Barb. So she really teaches. So yeah, I that is one thing I've been kind of planning on a strategy to go live. And the ones that resonate with me and the ones that I enjoy watching are, I like when people tell their stories, but I really like how they teach.
Yeah. Totally. I could not agree with you more. And I'm glad that you've grasped onto that and like you hold on to that, because honestly, that is one of the very biggest things that people who are successful, they'll do one of two things. That a lot of people will not necessarily teach as much, but they'll spend time connecting with people. And then two, the other style is that they teach, and they teach very basic, stripped down. And what they'll do is, like, I don't know if you've noticed this on Calvin's lives, but when he goes live, what he'll do is he'll talk through the same thing, the same concept over and over, because people come and people go, and people come and people go. So he talks about the stock market and crypto like nonstop, and everybody's like, where is he going with it? What's he trying to sell me? What's he going to do? And he talks about how there's a bear market coming, and then when the bear market comes, he's like, you need money to invest. This is how people get really wealthy. You need money to invest. Here's how to invest. There's a great $7 digital course. You can learn how to make money online, have your own little side hustle online. I've been killing it by doing this exact business model. and here's where you can go to purchase this little $7 course. And it's like I'm like, wow, that's genius. But it's really like pretty simple. He's taken something that he's super interested in and loves to talk about. And then he's just like, all right, I'm just going to sit around and talk about this because I spend all day talking about crypto anyway. Like, well, I'll just go live and do it here with everybody else. And then, yeah, over the course of a couple hours, he has 50,000 people who watch. And then a certain amount of those people just flood in and purchase whatever he's got to sell. And then other people like Ian McClure, he goes live every day around this time in the morning. And excuse me, he's more like, he's a bit more like a connector. Like I see him call people out by name, like, hey, I saw you on yesterday. And they're like, oh, that's weird. And he's like, well, we chatted about XYZ yesterday and I saw your name, welcome back. And they're like, are you serious? And it's just simply like him being mindful and aware. And people love that. People like in a world where we just don't really connect with people all that much and we felt very disconnected, to like pop onto somebody's TikTok live and be called out, not like called out, but like be recognized and acknowledged.
Hey, you're my friend.
Really powerful.
Yeah. He's really cool too. I've watched his because he also tells like stories of like his former life, because his former life is pretty entertaining.
The Bodyguard? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Day in the life of a bodyguard. When people are like, oh man, I just don't know how to tell like my story or whatever, I'm like, go look at his thing. And for those of you who are wondering, his handle is the entrepreneur guy. I'll put it in the chat. But he has this, so he does this thing where he tells day in the life of a bodyguard. And it's just a simple way to tell past stories that are kind of like funny or interesting. But all of those videos get watched so much, like they get so much view time. It's crazy. And people just love that story and that journey and like the thoughts back on like old memories and stuff. And he even retells some of them because people haven't seen them before. People, just followed him today, didn't see the one from a year ago. So it's like, I could just easily retell that story again. What do you, so if you were to go live, well, when you go live, when you go live, have you thought about or considered like what you'll talk about, or have you given that much thought at all?
So, I mean, probably when I do go live and start going live, that's where I will share my story, because I think that that's better suited in a live type environment.
Cool.
And what my why is. My why is too long to put in, a 15-second video.
Sure.
So I'm sure that will resonate with people, because everybody has their things. Everybody has their whys. And so that is that. But I do also just want to teach, because I also know that the things that I struggle with, everybody else is going to struggle with. And so that's really what I want to do.
Yeah. And you can tell that journey about starting Shopify and stuff. Yeah. Like, I think people underrate their ability to like tell little things like that. Like for you or for me, like when I started with an MLM in travel industry, and I just had no clue what I was doing. Like I didn't really know. But that journey of like me starting an MLM, failing, like totally botching, I felt like everything. Like I could tell that story on a TikTok live, and I have on webinars back in the day so many times, like just explaining that journey, and people were like, oh dude, me too. And like, even, you could go live and you could be like, why Shopify sucks, or like, quit doing Shopify, like something that's like, whoa, like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean stop Shopify? Like, what are you talking about? And you could create something pretty polarizing and just tell your story about like, I started this Shopify store, thought I was going to get rich, didn't work out, and just like have fun with it. And people would see that headline as they're scrolling, and you come up on their For You page because they follow you, and they'd be like, oh, whoa, hold on a second. Who is this again? How did I find this person? I think like finding little moments like that with your story and stuff would be really cool. And I'll be looking out for it. I would love to tune in and just watch and enjoy and be part of it.
Thank you.
That'd be awesome. Cool. Any final words for, I'll give you the final word for people who are here, who are, they've got their TikTok created, but they haven't quite posted. Their drafts folder is big, but they haven't quite posted. Any tips or thoughts on getting started and getting going?
Just post it. Just look at what makes, think of just what makes you happy. First and foremost, make you happy, because people will pick up on it. That's the most important. People will know if you're happy. Just be happy. And just post what makes you happy.
I like that. I like that. People do have that intuition, and they can tell, they can get a sense. And I like that advice a lot, because I get a lot of emails and messages about like, well, critique my TikTok, or what can I do better on my TikTok, or like, what do I need to improve? And it's hard to pinpoint that feeling I get when I watch somebody's content, if they feel scared or they feel fearful. And I'm like, I don't want that emotion. Like, I didn't come here to watch that. I want to feel happy. I want to feel like they're alive and they're living and they got something meaningful to share. I love that so much. Thank you so much for sharing that today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Come back in a couple months. Let us know how things are going. We'll probably see you rank up to gold here pretty soon, and then we'll reach out and hit you up.
Yeah. I'll come back after I go live and blow up.
Nice. Let's go. I love it. All right, cool. Nice meeting you, and thanks for coming on.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right, guys. I'm going to put her TikTok up here on the screen for you to go follow her. It's Make Money with Leah. You can see her there, and I'll also put it in the chat just in case some of you are watching on a replay and just want to like copy and paste it or whatever. Go give her a follow. Our community is all about supporting people, not tearing people down, not making stupid comments on people's video. Just go comment on a video or two of hers. Say, hey, saw you on Wake Up Legendary. Great episode. Tell her a little bit about what was inspiring, what was about. Maybe she said something today that you had a little like aha moment, and go comment on her video and let her know that. Because for Leah and for any creators here, knowing, what resonated and what hit, when she starts to go live, maybe now she talks more about that because she got good feedback from you all about what, about her story or about her journey was powerful or impactful. So go give Leah a follow on TikTok. Be supportive, like her videos. That's what we do with each other when we bring people on this show. We're here to just support and lift people up. So we'll be back here, same place, same time tomorrow. I'll be back on Wednesday, tomorrow, the 29th. We've got another awesome guest lined up, and we've got a stacked week. In fact, the really cool part, I'll end with this. This week, I think, is one of the first, if not the first ever week that we've got an entire week just of women. And there was a time back when I first started with Legendary that we had there was no women who were killing it. It was just a bunch of dudes. And it was a weird, awkward energy. And I'm just so happy. And it's so much more fun with this balance of there's guys, there's girls, there's young, there's old, there's just such a good mixture. But this week is a complete week of nothing but women, because the women seem to just be killing it in our industry right now. So kudos to the ladies who are out there dominating, and keep it going. Maybe you'll be on the show next. Although we've got quite a lineup, we're booked out quite a few weeks, but we'll always be reaching out. If you're killing it or crushing it and you're doing super well and we haven't heard about you, let us know, and send us an email to support@legendarymarketer.com. Or if you want to recommend somebody for the show, let us know. And we'll be back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, as always, with another great guest. We'll see you then.